It has been an interesting year to say the least, and certainly in many ways it's somewhat surreal. It's surreal considering that on March 13th, we were all looking forward to the weekend, and the weekend turned into, quite frank with you, 4 or 5 long months. So it's somewhat surreal that we're here. And there have been so many obstacles that we have encountered, so many different and even conflicting guidelines and guardrails that we had to follow to get to this historic point. And as we look across the state and even look locally, so many schools are devastated by finances, by the lack of comprehensive long-term planning, by the lack of an unwavering sense of commitment to excellence by all parties. Yet we're here. We're here at Shen. I'm being repetitive with the word here as a point of emphasis, as a point of punctuation. What do I mean? Well, here is indicative of an act of progress to stay focused on our North Star, doing what has essentially been a grieving period. Here is a definition of the significance of the moment. Here is a recognition that public education is essential. Here is a demarcation of the place we call a sanctuary for learning, Shenendehoa. So the reopening of our schools takes on an even more significant importance for us. We're all here with varied perspectives and expectations. We're all here even with trepidation and cautious optimism. And for some of you, it's the first time returning to school buildings since March. While to others, it's a climax of a lot of tireless work over the last several months, and certainly over the last several weeks. Being here is a part of renormalizing to our new reality. So today we press restart, we press go, we press forward, knowing that our roles are critical, not only to the academic growth of our students, but to their psychological welfare and to the overarching school experience. Being here signifies that we have not given in or given up, that we are upholding our charge to be difference makers. We are soulfully hopeful. We are open-minded and willing, knowing that our success is contingent upon each other, all of us. Being here is about collective work and reciprocal responsibility. I need you to be successful so I can be successful. You need me to be successful so you can be successful. And our students need each of us, all of us, to be present, to be here. Over the past several months, I've observed some remarkable things. We have been transformed as a school community. We found our stride and strength in each other, harnessing the power and possibilities of synergy of effort. I witnessed facilities and operation employees partnering to get spaces reconstructed and ready. I saw food service employees banding together to produce and serve over 13,000 meals. I saw transportation staff and bus drivers working in concert to hammer out new routes and a new bidding process. I saw collaborations between office staff across buildings and program levels to standardize new practices. I saw coordination of IMS staff with contractors to deploy a new district-wide phone system that will be ready for us late September, early October, and an updated PA system. I saw forward thinking and strategic ideas materialize into best practices, such as changes to our tax collection process and the use of the tax drop box by the DO. I saw new forms and processes being developed and fine-tuned by HR staff to contend with the various changes in laws, or the creation of processes to track CVL, our completely virtual learning students. I witnessed custodial staff from various buildings coming together at the high school, along with IMS staff over the Labor Day weekend, working to ensure buildings were spick and span and ready for the return of teachers yesterday morning, and to ensure the existence of technology in spaces revamped for appropriate social distancing. Last week, I toured several buildings with Board of Education members. And as expected, we saw works in progress. Yesterday, however, I toured buildings with Dr. Wood, and they were clean, bright, and ready for our students when they arrive, ready for their return so they walk into welcoming environments that demonstrate our commitment to their success, to their fulfillment, to their sense of agency, to the optimism that we want every one of our young people to have about the future. And like yesterday, and for the coming days, I know staff members will be busy manning phones, responding to emails, preparing bulletin boards, putting in the work. People pairing up with others and finding ways to work as cohesive units. Consequently, the impossible has become probable, and the unknown is now inevitable. No doubt, folks, we will have challenges, questions that require deliberation and to live experiences before we have clear answers. However, I'm absolutely confident that we will make the right adjustments. Consider for a moment those adjustments you have already made, from completing daily health screen certifications, to wearing masks that helps keeps us all here, to keeping safe distances, to keeping our spaces clean so they can remain clean. Habits that have already become normal to many and will be the expectation for all. Yes, we will continue to do and evaluate, and to do. And there will be modifications to plans that were made with the best interest of all. But when operationalized, we realize they need to be improved. There will be shifts in bus routes or the need to move furniture, even walls, to better utilize instructional spaces as parents change their child's enrollment throughout the year. Office staff will be taking on added responsibility of becoming more knowledgeable with the intricacies of the reopening plan so they can ensure high quality customer service for those who call. Custodian cleaning staff will be adhering to modified schedules to adjust to the flow of classes and to ensure appropriate cleaning and disinfecting. Aides and monitors, some will be providing classroom support, helping to preserve the academic success of our students. Food service staff will be coming up with creative ways to deliver hundreds of meals to students in classrooms. Nurses will be keenly focused on supporting kids in their greatest hours of needs with designated sick and well areas. IMS staff, tech staff, providing in-person and virtual help desk support to students and teachers alike. Ground staff, working meticulously planning for the potential reopening of sports. The point I'm making here is to emphasize that with all these examples, and many, many more could be stated, that I'm keenly aware of the need for every employee to feel valued, to feel connected to the success of our system. Your work is valued. Your work is appreciated. Your work is instrumental to our overall success. A second key point I would like to punctuate is that no one is expected to be perfect. Just expected to bring an open mind, bring your best effort and commitment to give it your all, to be authentic in your efforts. And let me contextualize what we have been going through for the past several months. Acknowledging again and expressing tremendous gratitude to the dedicated employees from facilities and operations, transportation, food services, IMS, building administration, district administration, who worked tirelessly all summer to go from what we had a concept to a technical plan to where we are now as we enter this phase of executing our plans, of preparing to evaluate our plans, and months from now, standardizing the things that we're doing. We have CVL students exceeding over 1,800 students that will be taking their courses virtually, roughly 19% of our student population. We have 25 instruction employees and 4 support staff employees that will be working remotely as a result of medical documentation provided. We have several employees that due to family leaves as a result of childcare issues, we've taken leaves. The point I'm making is that we are making the adjustments to try to be as accommodating as we can to our employees, while yet ensuring that we can be successful as a system. We've invested tremendously in COVID-related costs, at this point exceeding over $1 million. Focus on prevention, mitigation, reinforcement. PPE supplies, for example, over $205,000 on gloves, masks, gowns, goggles, shields. Sanitizing and disinfecting supplies, over $117,000 on hand sanitizer, disinfectants, bleach wipes. Specialized equipment, over $60,000 on floor markers, COVID-related signage, spray bottles, Clorox 360 machines, dividers. Filtration and ventilation costs, over $50,000 on filters and balancing and repairing. IMS video technology, over $100,000 in ensuring that we can streamline and live stream courses. Temperature screening equipment, we're looking at right now, potential over $250,000. Looking at new health screening platform. These are things, the investments that we're making as a system to ensure the safety of our students, to ensure the safety of our employees, to ensure the success of our school system. PPE distribution in buildings. We have masks for every employee. And if you haven't received a Shen mask yet, stop by your building office or ask your supervisor, because we have ample supplies of masks, ample supplies of shields. So please reach out. We want to ensure that people are safe when they're doing their jobs. We have engaged with our unions to ensure that we can have the contractual leeway to do the things that we need to do. Kudos to the CSCA leadership for the MOA that provided transportation, the capacity to redo the bidding process and redo routes so we can be prepared to transport students next week. Kudos to the STA leadership for providing us the leeway to outline instruction initiatives so we can provide quality in-person and virtual learning for our students. We're gearing up for planning for sports based upon new guidance recently released, looking at low risk, medium risk, and high risk sports and planning for those things for the coming future. So there are many, many moving parts, and they're all so critical to the success of our system. And they all rely on your due diligence and your execution with fidelity. So I want to pause, and I want you to really think about being here in this context, that our collective end goal, not mine as superintendent, our collective end goal is to create and execute something excellent that was never done before. Create something excellent that was never done before. We are here at this historic point in time to reopen our schools. And this is clearly harder than it sounds, because we know that people are still trying to balance their self-interest in ideas, trying to balance what they are comfortable with and accustomed with the changes that have been made to preserve the greater good. It's not easy, but it's possible. And it's doable when everyone is present and everyone is all in. It's doable when everyone is present and everyone is all in. Being employees in the education arena in the COVID-19 era necessitates a deep internalization of the why, our purpose, a sincere reliance on each other. We must stay our eyes on the North Star, driven by a sense of obligation to give it our very best. We must align our interests and abilities. We must be comfortable with change, be agile, be nimble, be flexible. And most importantly, we must possess a sincere willingness to reassess and question our own assumptions, challenging ideas, and not attacking the person with the idea. See, it's about the tandem efforts that yield our success as a system, not individual pursuits. So as we think about normalizing to the new realities, we must all be resolute in our commitment to evolving, to maximizing emerging opportunities, to contend with social injustices in our pursuit for equity and opportunities and outcomes for our students, to preserving the safety of self inside of Shen and outside of Shen, to ensure the safety of our students and the community at large. So today is important for you. Today is important for me, because we're here together, excited for the return of our students. This will be a great year. This will be a great year. Our obligation is to try our best to provide students with the best possible opportunities for success. That's our obligation. There's no one better suited to do this work than we are here at Shen. I have tremendous faith in all of you and a great appreciation for the preparation you have done and will do to make this a historic year indeed. I wish you all the very best for a successful 2020-21 school year. Shen is in. We're here, and we're here together. Thank you for what you do. Thank you very much.